Welcome back to Westbridge Hills, episode 13, with me, MrSealyp. I am culti ploughing field 20. It has been fertiliser spread. Sorry. That's going to be subsoiled and cultivated, the equivalent of ploughing and cultivated in game, and then that will need fertiliser spraying before seeding. The next growth stage is clicked over across the map, which means the corn maize is ready for harvest, which means a silage harvest is imminent. Just here, which means leasing some few bits of big machinery. Money's gone up a little bit of contracting. And it does also mean this field here can get its last fertilising state done, as I believe can field 6 down the bottom. Although I need row crop tyres, this will go back to the yard, and I will grab the Massey Ferguson to do that. I think everything else, just check the map. That growth, and now to soil composition. Yeah, field 16 needs another going over, as does field 6, but 10 and 17 are fine, and that's interesting. Oh, it's been sprayed, hasn't it? Of course it has. Look at growth down at field 20, and it's being subsoiled and cultivated. So today's episode may well be silage harvest. It's been coming. It's been due. So let's park this up. I spot more contracting done. Money's gone up. I'm going to jump in the truck. Before I start the silage harvest, and there is a good reason for that. Actually, I might have to go round first, do a loop. Wheat at the mill has gone up to 700 and something. For wheat, that's pretty good, so I'm going to sell everything I've got. Plus soybean at the freight yard has gone up to 1,900. There we go. Which is also, and that's the highest, it's peaked there. I thought it might go above 2,000, but it hasn't. So I'm going to sell the soybean I've got, just to maximise how much money I've got, ready for the next phase, because I do need to lease a bit of equipment. As far as feed goes for the pigs, I have got barley growing on field 6, so when I'm harvesting that barley will go down for pig food. So at the moment this is surplus to requirements. Fantastic. 29,945, it's not quite 30,000. It will all work out. Right, back over to the yard, pick up the soybean. I'll do one full load. I think I've got 89,000 litres. I'll do one load of 70,000, get rid of that and leave the rest in storage for the time being. And then we'll crack on. Okay, freight yard. Which I better check. It was definitely the freight yard. Freight yard 1908. It was, yeah. That moment of panic, you think, if I start dumping this and it's wrong. But it's not. Beacons off. I am happy with that. One load, 133,570. Okay. Now we have the funds for the next step. Okay, it's leasing time again, not purchasing, not for the time being, not until I've got enough money to. So, what I've decided, as I often do, decide things. Forage harvesters, I'll show you in a second. Tippers, I have a process. The Krone TX 560D is predominantly a chaff trailer. It doesn't have to be, but predominantly. It does make life a lot easier for what I want to do. It's got 56,000 litre capacity. I'm going to get the truck up here, and I'm going to lease 2 of these. And when you lease them, 5,760. That's why I just did a load of contracting. Why I sold the wheat. Why I sold the soybean. So I'm going to lease 1, and I'm going to lease 2. So what I will do is when the forage harvester is pulling 1 and doing the work, I'll be carting with the second one. When I get back, I swap them over. It means the harvester can keep going and I can cart backwards and forwards. The good thing about it is field 15 is right by the biogas plants. That's not too much of a problem. So it's time to say hello to my little friend. Now I've leased Big Bud's cousin. Don't know if it's an ugly cousin or not. I actually like this, but the Krone BIG X 1100. Now, it's only got 1,034 horsepower, so it's not quite 1,100, but it's a beast, and I like it. And I've gone for the header, the EasyCollect 1053, I think it is, or 1035, 1053, which is the big one. 10.5 metre header. This should make relatively light work of the silage harvest. I don't want to spend all week doing it. I'm going to be quiet now and listen to it start up. Now I could have gone for the Krone BIG X 580, but it's that kind of... I've got the Big Bud, it's a big farm. I haven't used the BIG X 1100 on FS17 at all, I don't think. It was 33,000 to lease, so not cheap. But that's why I did all the work I did, for this very reason. Hook that up, and... no. Let me think. There we go. Open up the trailer. That nice bit of Krone advertising. There we go. So now, actually I think I'll drop that. Drop that down a little bit because it did seem to be quite high up. That's better. I'm going to start further away because then as you get closer to the biogas plant it's shorter to haul. It makes no difference, I can start closer and move further away. I'm going to end up hauling the same distance regardless. This is a beaut. Right, let's get that header open. It's alive. Oh, look at it. Sends chills down your spine. Okay, right. I'm going to get this into the field. So hopefully, after all the hype, this is going to work. And I hope the yield's going to be good. Let's get it just over a little bit. And away we go. The yield is pretty good, I have to say. Now this bit is a process that's going to be repeated quite a lot on this field. That's now got 56,000 litres in it, and I haven't even done a complete strip. So, as you can imagine, that's very noisy. Dismiss the worker, back that up. Disconnect. Forgot to do that bit, didn't I? There we go. Like I say, I will refine this process. I did it on law folds and I haven't done it for a while. So, the thing about this is as well, for the sake of about 10,000, in this case dollars, to lease these two trailers, when I sell silage, I'll make that back in no time really. So it's well worth doing. It makes the whole process a lot smoother and a lot easier. And he can now crack on again. Although I didn't adjust that, doesn't matter. It hooked up fine. This one then, I could drive along next to it with the bigger trailer, the 70,000 litre one. Problem with doing that is it means I've got to stay next to it the whole time. There we go, get that about right. Which makes life quite complicated. There's absolutely no need to make your life any harder than it has to be. So hopefully I'll be back before that fills up again, but there's no guarantees. And good thing is I've picked this field because the biogas plant is right here. The only other field I would have picked would have been field 14, which is right there. Either one of them works perfectly for this. Now I'm going to start filling the bunker silo this end because I want maximum to be all at this end. There's going to be a load, to be honest with you, and then I will have to back in from the other end to do this. It's a process that I'll have to work through until I get it just right. Okay, first step. Close that. Pop out. So, if you've seen me do this before, you'll know exactly what I do. I don't spread it along the length and then flatten it. What I do is fill it to the very top till I get a flat top. With the amount of silage I'm going to have, it will go right the way along, well, probably 2/3 the way maybe. maybe even 3/4 of the way along, and then I'll come along with something big, probably like the Big Bud, and compact it all along, just drive up and down on the top. I'll show you all that later on. So at the moment this won't be compacted at all, and I will just keep filling, and then compact it later on. So back over to the field. So the next load, it means I've got to back in, and it may seem a bit of a faff. Again, it swings and roundabouts. Everyone has their own method, everyone has a different way of doing it. Some people will use levelers, some people will use things to run up and down it just to compact it. Some people will spread it out thin over each layer. This is just the way I find works for me. I'm happy doing it this way. It may be more time consuming, I don't know, but I'm just looking at this field now thinking, good grief, it's going to take a lot, isn't it? So let's see if I can get this a little bit better this time. If I put that at a slight angle like so, and disconnect and go that way, and jump out, jump in there, I'll get through that gap. No. This process will get better. Must improve. I could just close the header, but it's a lot of mucking around. Who wants to be doing all that? Get that back in position. Like so. Maybe a little bit more. Off it goes again. Off we go. This process is now going to continue a lot. I will see you in a bit and see how we're getting on. with about a third, well, probably under a third of the field left to do. This load is likely to take us over 1 million litres. I say likely, it is going to take us over 1 million litres. And there we have it. We are over 1 million litres of chaff in here that will need to be fermented. And there is more to come. Probably another few loads actually. So we're going to be probably, I would say, in the region of 1.2 million. Maybe 1.3. We'll see. But it's going well. It's taking a long time. I am playing in real time, so it's taking a while. But you can see how that bunker silo is filling. And then what I will do at the end is get something up on the top of that to go up and down and compact the whole thing. But we are now over 1 million. Problem is the price of silage is rubbish, so if it was paying 1,000 for 1,000, lovely, but it's not anywhere close. So yeah, not a third, maybe a quarter of the field left, maybe something like that. The Krone BIG X 1100 is just wow. What a bit of kit. What I've started doing is actually kind of making almost a cross. So as I come back, turn the trailer slightly like that, disconnect, and because I've come in with a slight diagonal, it makes it easier for hooking each one up across. I told you I'd get there in the end. I'd get a system, and that's how it's kind of worked the best so far. But we are doing well, if it's taking a while, but for you it won't be anywhere near as long. And off we go with the next one. It is 6:24. I did finish this, to be fair, about probably half an hour or so ago, but I did get the fertiliser spreader up here to spread the field ready for cultivating, and I set the seeder to work on field 20. I've put corn in that because I'm going to need corn for the pigs, and just over on the horizon, just directly across from me now, I've got the cultivator, the Bednar cultivator, cultivating this ready for the next crop. But this is the last load, the last 26,000 litres. The header can be folded away, and this, as always, from when I used it on FS15 all the time because I really liked it, doesn't disappoint. At the end of the day, it's the header that's important. The actual forage harvesters, just disconnect that and put the pipe down. The forage harvesters are all much of a muchness. They'll all do the same thing regardless of the size, from the Rossall mash right the way up, the New Holland, FR850, all of them will all do the same job. They're forage harvesters. It's the header size that makes the difference. The Krone BIG X 1100 mod pack comes with obviously the Krone BIG X 1100, but it has the 10.5 metre header as well. So even if you just download the pack, don't use the actual forage harvester but use the header, it's well worth it. Which I think I did on Lawfolds. I think I used, I can't remember which harvester I used now, but I definitely used the 10.5 metre header, I think. I say I definitely did. I definitely think I did. You know. Anyway, let's get this down to the biogas plant and see where we're at. Because if I'm not mistaken, we are way above what I thought we would be. which is no bad thing. Now, as you can see, it's looking a little bit more, it's looking a little bit fuller. It's looking a little bit more full, whichever way around, than it did the last time you saw it. I would normally lease and use a wheel loader with a big bucket, but, well, that's weird, that was glitching a bit. Or lagging, I suppose it was glitching. I used the telehandler with a bucket and it has worked brilliantly. I've also brought over the big bud and I've put the twin wheels on it. That's going to be incredibly important for what I'm about to do. So let's unload the last bit in here. And that's it. Now I could spend ages going around with the forage harvester. I could cut grass and windrow and pick up as much grass as I can and fill this bunker completely, but I can't see the point. Now what I have been doing with the telehandler is scooping this all up, bringing it up to the top neatly so it levels it all. So all these little divots and bits here actually end up level like they are up the top here. I will tidy that up at the end, maybe. But the moment of truth. Let's see how much we have in here. $1,370,038 litres. What did I say? 1.2? I think I said 1.2. That's not far off 1.4 million litres of chaff. That's quite impressive. That's going to see me right. Even if the money's not fantastic, as far as slurry goes, that's going to top that tank off fantastically. It will mean another one of my epic getting conveyor belts and then spending about 15 hours selling it, but it will work. So next thing will be, like I said, you don't have to do this bit, especially at this end. At the front it's a bit more important, but what I generally do is just tidy up a little bit, and again that's more just my OCD really. You don't have to. It's just a case of levelling out everything's up here, when of course it will get up there. Never mind, but you see you get the idea. Just a bit of tidying. And realistically, just that little bit was all I need to do for this. Now comes the interesting bit, and this is a bit that will take a while. And that's jumping in the big bud. Now with the twins on, this just about fits in here, I think. Just get a bit of a run up. This has got some grunt, it won't have a problem at all. So now we're up on top. You can see we're 11% compacted, and all you've got to do now, with the weight of this, it shouldn't take too long, is drive up and down. This is the bit that takes a while. If you're doing multiplayer, if you're playing with a partner or anything at all, and while you're collecting loads and bringing them backwards and forwards, they're compacting in between. Doesn't take too long at all to do this. If you're on your own and you compact between loads, it can take just as long. But as you can see, I've gone from what was on 11% up to 17 fairly quickly. I'll be at 100% before you know it. And it doesn't matter what vehicle you use, but this will make light work of this because it's quite heavy and quite wide. Didn't take too long. Last 2%. We're at 98. We're at 99. We are 100% compacted. Let's get this off. That worked really well. And then all that's left to do then is blanket the silo. And there we go. Bunker silo is covered. That's 648. I think it takes... yeah, that's weird. I hope that's not going to cause a problem. The fact there's some sticking out. We'll have to see when we come to uncover it. Might be a case of using the sweep. No, don't know. We'll see. Hopefully that's not going to be an issue. But it is now fermenting. It is nearly 10 to 7. And that is the end of this episode. Silage harvest on 15 done. Everything worked exactly as it needed to. The machinery can all go back. I think before midnight tonight I need to give back some of the leased equipment because that's going to cost me a fortune otherwise. I'm not likely to do another big silage harvest for a while, and hopefully by that point, if and when I do, I might have enough money to buy a forage harvester. We'll see. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you found it interesting, informative, useful, whatever, all of the things that I normally say. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share the video, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.